Well, I'd like to update a little bit of version of the pedra de gavea in Rio de Janeiro. And I'd like to put in three options to make the controversy more complete. And the first option is that the Vikings arrived in Brazil around the year 1000 after Christ, and I believe in this thesis. They must came here to Rio de Janeiro. They were also in northeast of Brazil, and they were in Salvador de Bahia, and they arrived in Cabo Frio near Rio, and here in Rio de Janeiro they arrived and they saw this rock here, which quite looked like a man, the face of a man with a helmet, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the beard. And the Vikings must have believed that is a sign of the god Woden. And then later on they put inscriptions here in the rock, which is quite reconsiderable, because they put them here. It's 30 meter wide and 250 high, these signs. And they put them on this side, and it means it's in rune signs. And in rune signs, they say, written here on this gravel beach, you can find wood to repair the ships. The strange fact is, they put it on this side of the rock. It was not visible from the other side, from the sea. It's possible because they only could climb the rock from this side, and they let themselves down with cords or to chisel this sign in the rock. Well, this is quite doubtful, but might be a mystery. The second option is about the Phoeniciërs, an option that's more regular in Brazil, but also they put it aside as fantasy, that the Phoeniciërs were in Brazil 850 years before Christ, and the Phoeniciërs, they were also sea wolves, and they spoke the Semitic language. And well, these also said that they chiseled these inscriptions here in the Semitic language, and scientists discovered that there was written, "Cheris Phoeneciër, the old son of janeiro." The Phoenicians saw on this their god. But he also said that these people even chiseled the features of the face, and that's quite unbelievable. But it could be an option that the Phoenicians were there. The third option is that the non-believers, people with no fantasy, and they say it's all just fantasy shit, and it just all came with made by the erosion, the weather, the wind, the rain. But that's out of question. They found a lot of signs in Brazil, in northeast Brazil, in Amazonas, signs. You could say Phoenician signs or Viking signs, but they found them in Amazonas, in caves, on rocks in the northeast of Brazil. There were other people, even before the Indians in Brazil. In the northeast of Brazil, they found fireplaces that should be more than 30,000 years, almost 30,000 years old. 30,000 years ago, there were already people here in Brazil, who made fire, who lived there. Who were those people? The Indians, I believe, they were already here more than 20,000 years. And there were other people. Maybe they came from Africa, Asia, or Europe, or where they came from. Maybe it were aliens, extraterrestrials. It's just a mystery. And I've been in the center cities in the northeast of Brazil, and I tell you, I saw a lot of strange rocks and strange signs and inscriptions on rocks and walls. And it's hard to believe that there were a lot of people here in Brazil. So I stay with this tease that the Vikings were in Brazil. Just like my uncle Thomas Peters, Father Thomas Peters, it was his great passion, and he believed in that. The only doubt is that the inscriptions on this rock, but that the Vikings arrived here and they saw this face here must be a sign of Woden. So I hope you've listened to this little story and to work it out by yourself. And I believe that the Vikings were here in Brazil, and thank you for listening.